Welcome to Bible House and Bible Nation TV today. We are going to describe this question, let's dip in, why do bad things happen to good people? This is one of the deepest and most challenging questions of faith. Spiritually, we must approach it with wisdom, humility, and a heart that seeks divine understanding rather than simple answers. The reality of free will and a fallen world God created humanity with free will, meaning we have the ability to make choices, good or bad. But free will also comes with consequences. When sin entered the world through Adam and Eve, Genesis 3, it introduced suffering, pain, and death. The world we live in is not as God originally designed it. It is a broken place where both good and bad people experience hardships, God's sovereignty, and divine purpose. While we may not understand every hardship, the Bible assures us that God works all things for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8:28. This does not mean every situation is good, but that God in His infinite wisdom can bring good out of pain. Joseph, for example, was betrayed by his own brothers and suffered for years, yet later declared, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Genesis 50:20. Suffering is a refining process. Trials and suffering often serve a greater purpose. James 1:2-4 tells us to consider it pure joy when we face trials because they develop perseverance, character, and faith. Even Jesus, though sinless, suffered. Hebrews 5 says he learned obedience through what he suffered. If Christ himself endured suffering, we should not be surprised when we face difficulties, God's presence in our pain. The greatest assurance we have is that we are never alone in suffering. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Even in our darkest moments, God is with us, comforting, strengthening, and guiding us. The eternal perspective. While suffering may seem unfair from a human perspective, eternity reveals a different reality. 2 Corinthians 4:17 calls our struggles a light and momentary afflictions compared to the eternal glory that awaits us. This world is temporary, but God's promises are everlasting.